It is 13 minutes after 12 noon. This is the Midday Cafe from CBC North, Radio 1 in the Yukon. The Trans-Canada Trail is nearly 24,000 kilometers in length, and it runs from coast to coast to coast, Arctic to Pacific to the Atlantic, and that is pretty much the route that is being followed by a pair of Ontario hikers as they walk the entire northern route of the trail and further. Oscar Nowitzki and Sarah McCauley began their journey on June the 1st in Inuvik. They're in Whitehorse today, and they've joined me in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys inside some warm weather, because it's a little chilly for July, but does that matter for walking?
The warmer weather does matter, yeah.
You would probably prefer this, right? Than
Yeah.
Yeah, this is perfect walking weather right now.
We definitely prefer the
when
cooler
it's nice
weather.
and cloudy.
As long as it's not raining.
Yeah, not raining.
Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you come up with an idea to hike the Canada Trail?
Well, it was originally Sarah's idea.
Yeah.
That was...
I don't know. It was always kind of a half-cooked idea of mine, kind of a dream to walk across the country before I was 30, kind of a goal I had. And then last year, I got into working full-time, and I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing, and I just kind of thought now is the time. And Oscar was kind of he had a similar schedule to me, and I thought it would be nice to have some company. And so I told him my idea. And
I had to think about it.
Yeah, he was a little bit
Long and
reluctant
hard.
at first, but we're both here now.
Personally, I don't know how many people will share if their initial thoughts would be the same as my initial thought is, that's a long hike. Can you do it in one summer season?
No,
No.
not in the summer. It's going to take us about 1.5 years, we figure.
okay.
Yeah.
So when you said, okay, now we're going to do this, we are going to do this, how did you come upon Inuvik as being the place to start?
Well, the Trans-Canada Trail kind of, it has two starting points, I guess. It has a starting point in Victoria in the west, and then it also has a starting point in Inuvik. In the walking trail anyway starts in Inuvik in the north. And I always wanted to see the north. I've never been here. Oscar's never been here. And it's been so wonderful. We're so glad we started here because it's really spectacular to see. And we thought it'd be great. We get to go through all the provinces and territories this way, except for Nunavut, because there's no roads that go there.
As of yet.
Yeah. So it seemed good. We can go through all the provinces and territories. We get to experience the north, and our goal is just to see and experience everything Canada has to offer. So it seemed like a natural starting point for us.
Inuvik to Whitehorse is a long drive. Now you've you've walked it. Any second thoughts so far?
I haven't had any second thoughts.
I've maybe had a few when it was getting really tough and the weather wasn't very good, or
it was very
when it
hot.
was very hot
Yeah.
the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to walk long distances, and you need frequent breaks.
Lots of water.
Which wasn't always available.
Yeah, that's
which is
one of
very
the challenges.
very heavy to carry.
Is the Canada Trail between there and here basically the highway, the Dempster Highway, and then the Klondike Highway?
No, parts of it is on land, which is called
the Overland Trail that
Overland
goes
Trail.
from Dawson to Whitehorse, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the highway is also part of the Trans-Canada Trail, and we did the highway portion just because of the long distances. We can stop in the towns and resupply, and that just was a lot
water's
easier
closer
traveling.
to the highway.
Yes, yeah. It was
Easier
easier traveling
accessible.
for us to take the highway here.
Is any adventures so far? Any encounters with wildlife or anything?
Lots. So many adventures. Oh gosh.
Where to start?
Did you ever feel endangered?
Not by wildlife,
No.
by people once. We had a
Yeah.
bad experience with
Yeah.
people. We were camped somewhere, we won't say where, but we were camped at a smaller town, and people threw rocks at our tent and put a hole in our fly, which was quite sad. We didn't feel very safe there, but we ended up meeting some wonderful people in that town, and it all worked out for the best. But that was kind of the only negative experience we've had. Wildlife has been we've had a lot of close encounters with bears and moose. Well, there was the one moose,
but they were all good.
Yeah.
Nothing bad came out of it.
The one moose scared us a bit. I think we scared it too.
So how equipped are you? Like, one thing about walking, do you stop and stay in hotels once in a while? Are you basically camping?
Yeah,
we're basically pretty much camping. We did stay in Tombstone.
Tombstone campground.
Yeah, campground.
That was beautiful.
Usually we prefer just to camp in the forest,
in the
woods on the side of the road.
Yeah, on the Dempster, because it's tundra there, it was much harder to find camping spots, so we just stayed in any old gravel pit we could find. Yeah.
And plus, after the incident with the rock, we prefer not to camp in towns or near towns. We prefer to just, restock and then keep going until you're at a safe distance, and then camp with the bears, as you could say.
Yeah. Here in the Yukon, we see lots of people going through town with their adventure story or their dream story. It's similar to this. Some of them are riding bikes from, let's say, Alaska to Mexico, and often they'll have a cause. They're raising funds for something. This basically, though, for you guys is just a personal want, and you're going to do it.
Yeah, it's mostly a personal adventure.
We're looking for adventure and a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a great challenge, for sure.
And to explore the country.
Yeah, are you taking photos and documenting your trip?
Yeah.
Sarah has a journal that she writes every day.
Every day, and then
and
when
we take plenty of photographs.
Yeah, and then we get to a town, and we've got a little blog that we update when we've got a chance, and I put my journal up on that.
So you're online, but people can follow you if they want?
Yeah, there's people following us,
Yeah, we've got a Spot satellite messenger, and basically it's got a button that we can push, and it'll send our coordinates to our blog, so people can track us
wherever
almost
we are
every day we press
map.
it, and so they can see us as we're traveling too, which is nice.
How are your families feeling about this, or when you told them what you were going to do?
My mom is so on board. She's living vicariously through this.
Good.
Yeah, she's been such a proponent of the trip. My dad has also been great support. He's helped us out a ton as well, and
my parents were a little skeptical and they weren't sure what to think about the trip, but I convinced them and reassured them that we'll be fine. Yeah, they're coming around.
Yeah.
It is such a long trip. What's the plan? What's the schedule? Like at winter, you're going to have to shut it down. To a certain extent, at least.
The winter, we're hoping to be in Ontario for the winter, which is where we're from. And so we've done winter camping in Ontario, and we're used to it. So we're hoping that's where we'll be. We'll be able to just continue on through the winter because we're used to the weather there, the winters. Yeah.
But if we slow down and for some reason we get held up somewhere in the winter, then maybe we'll have to...
We might hunker down. Yeah. We don't want to go through the prairies in the winter because they're quite harsh.
No.
There's not much of a wind block there. So, yeah, if we get stuck, we might hunker down.
Not too many trees.
But yeah, exactly.
Are you pretty well on schedule? Are you in Whitehorse now about at the same time you thought you might be?
Pretty
I think
much,
so, yeah. I think so. And it's a little bit slower going now. I think once we're in the prairies, we'll go faster because we're not going up and down through all the mountains. So the pace will pick up a bit once we're in the prairies.
And walking on the roads as opposed to gravel is much quicker.
Oh, yeah. The Dempster was slow on gravel. Being on the Klondike.
And like in the mountains, it slowed us down because of the elevations that we had to go through.
So when do you expect to be at the end of the Canada Trail?
It's really hard to say. Exact
your lives are open enough that whenever.
We kind of think of it in sections.
Yes.
Right now, as opposed to thinking of it in a whole.
Yeah, it's too overwhelming to think of the whole picture.
And you can't really plan everything.
We're figuring somewhere around a year and a half will give us enough time to walk and do all our adventures, all our adventuring. But really, we just take it one day at a time. Yeah, you have to. You can't really plan. You can only plan so far ahead. Everything's very spontaneous.
Yeah. Do you feel that you're out of touch with the world when you're walking, or do you try to stay in touch at all with the media?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We
have
don't...
a little radio that we brought with us that never worked.
Yeah, it doesn't pick up
But
anything.
Well, so far
in
you
the
haven't
bush.
been in places where there's a lot of radio stations either.
No. We really haven't gotten much news. I mean, the most news we've heard was here in Whitehorse. Like, when we left, there was one Malaysia plane that had gone missing, and now we hear there's maybe 3 or something.
And there's been a lot of
incidents.
So we didn't know
idea
about that until we got here.
So we've been, I guess you would say we've been quite out of touch. Yeah.
What do you do when you're walking? Do you listen to music at all, or do you just visit with each other? Because eventually you're going to be getting bored with each other.
We
sometimes
talk about stuff in life,
anything,
and what we see. Or
sometimes we don't talk at all. We just enjoy the silence, the nature, and we just walk. But yeah, it's very much.
We talk about food a lot.
Yes.
That's one thing we talk about.
Pancakes. Yeah.
Well, in general, just food. What the next stop will offer, and
we're very food motivated.
What the next city has to offer, what delicacies or what their specialties are.
So when you get to a town like Dawson or Whitehorse, you hit up the restaurants and.
Oh yeah.
We discovered Klondike Kate's in Dawson City, and we spent a small fortune there. It's so good.
It is good there,
yeah.
Well, we went to a bunch of places in Dawson City because we had to ration on the dumpster.
Because the distances were so great.
Yeah, so when we got to Dawson, there was all this good food everywhere.
So good.
And we ate so much that we got stomach aches for 3 days.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good.
Best stomach ache I ever had.
So if people want to follow your blog, how can they find it?
Oh, yeah. It's a bit of a long address. It's ramblecanada.wordpress.com. But I'm sure if people remember Ramble Canada, RAMBLE Canada, and just type that into Google, I'm sure something will come up.
Great. Thanks for dropping in, and good luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Oscar Novitsky and Sarah McCauley walking the Trans-Canada Trail from Inuvik to St. John's, Newfoundland, and they're in Whitehorse today.